Alright, today we're going to look at one of the extra units that was added to Golden Pack, and it is the Desert Rain Frog. So I'll show its ability up on screen once we actually find the frog itself, but it's a trumpet pet which is able to transform into other units. And we're going to try and use that in a slightly unorthodox way today. I had actually seen quite a few people playing this unit when it first came out. It does seem to have fallen away a bit in popularity. It definitely has an ability that is, how should we describe it, abusable, I guess. But you can also do a bunch of other fun stuff with it, and that's what we're going to try and do today. So we take the level up on turn 3. Desert Rain Frog is tier 2, so we don't actually need a level up. We're just assuming that we're going to find the frog if we roll enough times. And in the meantime, we'll just pick up Geranuk. And yeah, I had a variety of different units in here that I wanted to make use of. A bunch of the new ones as well. Here's actually a rare instance of facing a team with Silverfish, which is probably the worst pet in the game. And then, yeah, here we go. We find the Desert Rain Frog. So before attack, spend 1 trumpet to transform into a level 1 faint pet from 1 tier above. So maybe you can immediately tell how we're going to make use of this ability. But essentially, because it transforms into a faint pet from within the pack itself, you can completely control the pets that the Rain Frog will turn into. And actually here I made the Rain Frog level 1.5, but I think what I'm going to do is deliberately leave it as 1.5 for the rest of the game. So yeah, you can see I find the third Rain Frog and then I unfreeze it. And then of course I roll 2 more. But what we want to do is we want to make this Rain Frog always transform into the same unit. And I also want it to always be the same tier 3. So if we actually level up the Rain Frog, it's not going to transform into a tier 3 anymore, it'll be a tier 4. So yeah, we're just going to continue pilling flamingos. And then take Croissant to try and boost the attack on the Rain Frog. Okay, I'm going to take Just Right Porridge as well. I guess I'm just rolling for Cherry here because I think that's what I wanted in order to actually enable the ability on the Rain Frog. It is kind of a unique unit in the fact that the buzzer effect goes off every time its ability fails. Most of the other pets don't tend to do that. I guess mainly because the trigger pets tend not to have before attack abilities. Not exactly sure why I took Puppy there. Probably a bit late to be stocking a lasagna. But I'm also going to take the crow for the chocolate. And here you can see one of the difficulties we're having besides actually getting the cherry to enable this is that the Rain Frog's ability is before attack, which means it's pretty easy to disrupt. And in that last battle we faced a basilisk, so it was turned to stone before it got the chance to do anything. I'm sure we're probably going to see more interference in the coming rounds. Okay, a quick check of the pack. Was that me checking to make sure that I actually had Cherry in the pack? I'm not sure if I actually had any other trumpet units at all. Or trumpet generating units, I should say. Rare to see someone playing Bad Dog and not taking Evil Book, but it is going to pay off for them in this situation. Werewolf on an even turn. So we'll go for level 2 amalgamation, I think. Okay, I'm going to feed the gelada first. Now we're taking the level 2. Don't really get anything that we want. Not even sure why I had Albatross in this pack. It's possible that it was set up for multiple different purposes. But now we're on turn 9. We still haven't transformed this Rain Frog once. And I think we're going to end up losing again here. Yep. But we do still have 4 hearts, so as long as we can get the team strong enough, we should be able to cope with the fact that this is going to go to the late game. So I take the tardigrade, and there's a good reason for that, as we'll see shortly. I'm just going to keep feeding this rain frog. Still no cherry. Or maybe there wasn't any cherry. I should have paused when the pack came up on screen. I'm sure I would have put cherry in this pack. Otherwise, it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. So we do take a victory here. And I'm just continuing to feed the rain frog because it is going to be very important that it has decent stats when we finally are able to activate its ability. And then I'm just going to take Poodle because everything on the squad is a different tier, which means we're guaranteed to get max efficiency. Is that 3 monkey teams in a row? I think it is. And I think we actually might be okay here. Yeah, because we have a big mana snipe from the Poodle as well. So we could have actually won there, but it ends up being a tie. And I'm still buying every single cotton candy. Okay, here we go. We finally get cherries. I hope I didn't roll past any. But turn 12 for our first cherry. And actually, since we're talking about cotton candy, I don't know if I've ever brought this up before, but in the UK, or at least where I'm from, you wouldn't say cotton candy, you would say candy floss. So there's another little regional difference for the people who find that type of thing interesting. Okay, now I'm going to start topping up the health on the rain frog, and obviously that last battle, while I was talking about candy floss, I've skipped over the fact that the entire point of this was to keep the rain frog at level 1 so that it will turn into a badger every time. Here we face a classic customs team where everything is a snipe pet and we get demolished, so that's a bit unfortunate. We could do with some better protective equipment, which I guess I might have had at this point if I hadn't been rolling for cherry so much. Seems like I'm only interested in buying food. Maybe there wasn't that much equipment available, and so taking the celery is the best thing we can do. Another behemoth monkey team. In fact, I think it's the same person. But badger, even at level 1, can be pretty devastating as long as it has decent enough attack. So I think this time we are going to win. Yep. Even though the unit at the back gets weakened. So really the entire premise of this was just having a rain frog at level 1 in the late game, which then suddenly turns into a badger, and trying to kind of imagine what the opposing teams thought, or what they expected the rain frog to become. Now here we end up facing Wombat with this very funny level up team with the Salmon of Knowledge, another extremely rare unit in customs, even though it is not too bad. And actually I think here we're going to end up winning despite it looking like we were going to get demolished. And I think that was as a result of the eggplant moving a unit there and preventing an extra level up. I could be wrong, maybe someone in the comments can double check that. So now we're on 8 trophies. The poor rain frog still hasn't had the chance to be leveled up. Again, the eggplant actually denies a level up here because the white tiger gives experience to the vampire bat, which already has max levels. And again, the mana snipes from the amalgamation are so disruptive that we end up winning with our 1/1 doggo coming in at the end. And I think now, turn 17, we really are pushing it here with a level 1 tier 2 as the linchpin of the squad. And so we're going to bring in the coconut, and then we get the 50-50 max stats on the rain frog. And unfortunately, we end up facing one of these clone teams with the dung beetle Anubis, and so everything gets deleted, including our 50-50 with coconut. Yeah. The sooner this gets patched, the better for everyone concerned, I think. But luckily we did have 2 hearts, so we get to go again. Now I can't take the melon on the Geranuk because cherry is required for the rain frog's ability to do anything. And then this is a more sensible looking team. It is cat plus cow. But the coconut is going to allow us to one-shot the cat. In fact, the badger is actually going to remove almost their entire squad, even though it was only level 1. And there we go. There's a turn 18 level 1.5 Desert Rain Frog victory. I think there's a lot that can be done with this unit. I just haven't really played around with it very much.